I got a PhD on this. Sit back, class is in session. Moving on from someone you never dated sucks. It is a different kind of pain and agony. Because how can you end something that never got the chance to start in the first place? That hurts. Like getting hit by a ton of bricks. There are two possible reasons why you're here. Well, number one, someone didn't like you, or even if he did like you at some point or to some degree, he doesn't like you enough to commit to you. Or number two, you build him up so high in your head, you created this some sort of, silent expectation. We build them up in our heads and create expectations that they don't know. And then we get disappointed and hurt when they don't meet them. So firstly, what I want you to do is get off the cloud nine, get off the la la land, and put your feet back to the ground and reality. See that person for who he really is and who he really was in your life. Not the one that you fantasize about before you go to sleep. Not the one you created a romantic life in your imagination with. The real one that's in front of you. Ask yourself, who is he? What is his role in my life? Oh, he's a coworker. We're in the same company. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't give a damn if you're I fucking. Okay? I don't give a damn. I fucking means when you look and stare at each other and there's sexual tension going on, that's I fucking. Stop giving meaning to things that aren't vocally stated. Don't try to untangle the braids of what ifs. He did some nice things to you, great. He's a nice guy. He helped you with certain things, good. He's helpful. Call it for what it is. You're mistaking it for a connection when it's really just a human experience. Maybe he's just like that. Maybe he's brought up that way to be nice to everyone and you just gave meaning to it. Or if he did give you mixed signals, which is also a case, it means that he's just not that into you. Because let me tell you a fact about men. When men want someone, they would just try their best to hold them down. When a man knows that you get attention because you're a hot bombshell, a hot commodity, he's gonna hold you down or at least try to. If he's not, if he's just keeping you around for his convenience or for his roster, then you get your answer, babes. From the outside, people will say that, oh, I don't even know why you're into him. But when you're in that situation, you know what I'm saying. When you're in that situation, it feels like, but he's such a wonderful guy. He's so nice to me. He's all that. Girl, I've been there. See it for its face value and not what you wanted it to be. Because what's in your head can never become reality unless he acts on it. He's a man. You should be able to distinguish love, like, friendliness. Call it for what it is. Again, when he's helpful or when he's done nice things to you, you don't call it, oh, he must like me. Oh my God. Call it for what it is. He's a nice guy. Don't try to give meanings to things that aren't there. Because psychologically, this is tricky. When you think that someone is giving you motives that they like you, your brain will scour through all your interactions and find evidences and prove that that person likes you. That is called cognitive bias, and it's not healthy, girl. I'm just telling you. The importance of knowing yourself, the standards that you embody, and the boundaries that you enforce. You have a problem of moving on right now because you're too hyper-focused on that guy. If you have a lot, then you won't have that problem. You're not being like that. Fill up your roster, baby, because I don't know if this is a spoiler to you, but that's what men do. They keep a lot of people in their roster so that they get to pick. It's like putting their eggs on multiple baskets when they only have two. You know what I mean? That's what they do. So don't feel bad about entertaining more guys. This is why you're having this struggle to move on from a guy you never dated. Because you're so hyper fixated on the guy that doesn't even want you. What? He's giving you signals that he likes you. Here we go again. Girl, if you take mixed signals as a no, your life would be so much easier. Because when guy truly likes you, you don't have to decipher codes for him. It's not rocket science. Men are hunters. Men are the ones to chase. So if he's not chasing you, then he doesn't want you, girl. Face it head on like a bison. Do you know when storms come, the bisons don't run away from the rainy, stormy clouds. They run towards them. They face it head on. Because when you go just right through it, even if it's drenchy and painful and there's a lot of struggle, you will come out okay and better than ever on the other side. Instead of just keep running away from it, it's just gonna come to you sooner or later. So why not face it head on? How this relates to you moving on is we all know moving on is painful. So you just go right through the pain. Go right through it. Feel it. Grieve it. More on grieving later. I will teach you how. Like I said, I have a PhD on this. Here's a one helpful tip. Remember the icky, yucky things you did to get their attention. Can I share you one time? I was trying to get this guy's attention. I was staring at him the whole time, and then I threw a flying kiss, and his face was like that. Girl, I felt hot on the face, every part of my body in embarrassment. I just wanted the ground to swallow me whole. It's like, why the fuck did I do that? Ew. Never doing that again, ever. That guy was conventionally attractive. So I thought that we're already close. It's a habit of mine to throw flying kisses to my friends. And I was like, and then gesture hard. Let me tell you, girl, the look on his face, I don't know if it's disgust, but it's more of like a cringe. He's a Japanese guy, so affection is not really their thing, most of them. And another one is also the turn-offs, the nasty things he did that you didn't like. When there's a handful of things, a full list of all the things that you didn't like that he did, just ask yourself if you want to put yourself through that again, if you want to experience that again, because most likely you will if you choose to be with him. Another realization that helped me is sometimes you don't even like the person. You just want them to like you, because that way you'll get the validation and reassurance that you matter, that you're worth choosing, that you're good enough. But let me tell you, girl, no. The only person that can validate you is yourself. That's why it's important to know yourself, what you like, what you don't like, your hobbies, your passion, your goals, and your dreams. By achieving them, that will give you validation and, most importantly, confidence. You'll get by and you'll get further in life if you have confidence. I'm making a podcast episode on that, so subscribe if you want to watch that. You know what? When you're in the phase of moving on, stop talking to your friends about it. Because most likely, you will tend to talk about how good he is, how charming he is, how gentleman he is, how handsome he is in a suit or in a basketball jersey, or even if it's just a t-shirt. Or the way he works, you praise his work ethic. Do you know what that will do to your brain? It will make your subconscious think that, oh, I am talking so highly about this guy. I must really admire him. I must really like him. Even if you don't, you are reprogramming your way of thinking. You're building that guy up in your head. You're overestimating his potential when in reality, in most cases, he's just that, a potential. A potential can be fulfilled and it can also not be fulfilled. And also, if you keep talking to your friends about it, some friends give you bad advice and you're just gonna be a hamster on a wheel. You're gonna get stuck in that cycle and you don't want that. And when you're trying to move on from a guy you never dated, watching tarot readings on TikTok will not help at this time. Later on, we'll talk about how you can, but girl, I've been under that rabbit hole. I don't like it. It's dark and I don't want to say it's tacky, but you're trying to get validation and closure through tarot readings when when it's supposed to be a guide for you. I'm all for that. But if you're watching those to get validation, to get the closure that you need, no. Please don't. Stop scrolling. Put your phone And the other room, if you don't have another room, then just don't use social media at all and just journal. If you don't journal, girl, that's why your mind is a mess. Write things down. Girl, it solves 50% of the problem if you write things. Just write it all down, let it all out so that your mental state won't suffer because of it. Trust me, it works. Out of sight, out of mind. Stop stalking him on social media, please. Because let me tell you a story, another story. This happened way back in high school. I used to like this guy and I stalked his Instagram and Facebook and then what did I see? A picture of him and a girl, a transferee, a beautiful, light-skinned girl, an it girl. He looks like an Americana perfect, Miss Perfect, And I was like, girl, the fact that she's a girl, she already has advantage over me. And it crushed my spirit and confidence. So sometimes the less you know, the better. And not only that, if you keep lurking on his social media accounts, it's just, adding fuel to the little flame. It will add narrative to your brain and it will add more information. If you want to get over something, some feeling, starve it. That's the only way. If you starve it, it will go away eventually. Compartmentalization. If there's a specialty of mine, it's this. I can act like you never existed, like I never met you in my life. That's low-key a superpower and seldomly talked about. Circling back to the things that I've said earlier where you should have hobbies and all of that because you should do productive things with your time. While you're in your flow state and doing productive things, you can also make time to grieve for it. Maybe 15 minutes to an hour if you really want to break down, if you really want to cry, bawl your eyes out, then go ahead and do it. You should grieve it before you leave it, as I say. Crying really makes you feel better, but don't overdo it, okay? God gave us the gift of tears in order for us to feel better after a moment of sadness. Personally, I don't overuse it because I live by this saying, quote, anecdote, I don't know what to call it, but no man deserves your tears. Don't cry for them as much as possible. Cry because you want to process, cry because you want to release, and cry because you're tired of being treated so badly and you just want to move forward. That's what you cry for. But if you grieve because of a loss of a man, I don't even know if we can call him a man. He's a boy. There are also 3 words that get me by in almost everything. For your sanity, for my sanity. But I'm gonna tell this to you. For your sanity, you gotta leave. For your sanity, you just have to let things go. You should be able to live your life knowing that releasing things that you can't control is actually the easier way out if you're looking for an easier way out. But it's also easier said than done. As you're moving forward and in the middle of it, like you're really going through it, you will have your weakest days and you will relapse. So, this perfume I don't want to smell it because I will tell you, this perfume, I stashed it away, in my deepest, darkest drawer. And then when I was decluttering and stuff, I just opened this up and just smelled it and boom, bitch. I was taken back to the time when I was grieving and couldn't eat because of this guy. You will freaking relapse and you will remember the memories. And this specific scent is the one I used to wear when I was with him. And when I smell this, the memories will come flooding back, but I can now. Do you want it? Should I do it? No, I don't want to risk it because what? Wait, I feel like I have to do this to prove to you that I've really moved on. But if I break down in the middle of this episode, it's your fault. I'm kidding. I totally moved on from that guy. So wait, oh my god. Yeah, I can smell it. And the memories are flooding back in, but it doesn't crush me anymore. Yeah, I get the feeling again. Once again, it's an empty bottle, but there's a little product inside. So, by the way, it's the Nina Ricci Apple collection, whatever. It's good. Got it from my mom and bought one for myself. But I have outgrown this smell. It was good for the time being. In your weakest days and relapse, you will think about the what could have beens. Oh, what if that guy and I worked out? What if he really liked me, but he was so afraid to do so? What if he had traumas in the past? Girl, no. If you want to think about the what could have been, you should think about what if there's someone better? What if there's a tall, handsome guy for me? What if there's a guy that's really enamored and into me and more handsome than he is? That's your what ifs. That should be your what ifs. This one is kind of hard, but if you do this, it's a game changer too. You should be able to take out hope in the equation. And then what's left is the reality that you need to face. Sometimes you just get stuck and we couldn't move on from the person that we never really dated. Is because there's hope. Maybe they've given you mixed signals. Maybe some of their gestures spoke to you that, oh, I like you. And then you get confused and all that. Maybe he's a guy that doesn't know how to express his feelings well. Maybe he's not that vocal. Even if that's the case, do you really want to be with that kind of guy? The kind of guy who you had to build, who you have to train. Girl, if there's a license for that, then go ahead, get yours. Personally, I don't train men. I don't train no men. You know, it's their mother's job. If their mother failed to train them, then what makes you think that you can change that man? Consider trying to change yourself. It's already hard, right? The audacity you have for you to think that you can change a person, that's delusional. I support Delulu, but not that kind of Delulu. If it's the Delulu that will propel you forward and up, then I support it. But if it's a Delulu that will just crush your self-confidence, then girl, no, I'm out. I don't condone and support that. This one, I have coined this phrase. I don't know. I just thought of this one night. Have you watched The Vampire Diaries? When they turn off their humanity, all of the emotions are shut off. You can do that too. In every aspect of life, actually. But in moving on, imagine turning off your emotions and you don't feel anything. Act as if. Face is blank. It was like, I saw Richard with a girl tonight. Oh, yeah? Okay. Oh, you heard that he has a new girlfriend? Huh? Oh. That's my reaction. Oh. And then continue what you're doing. Get to know yourself through activities in solitude. Do you hear me? Solitude. Learn to be alone. I know it's so great to have friends in these times. That's good too. But I really want you to take your time off alone. This is not isolation. This is to process, okay, what we have learned. Self, what have we learned in this past connection? We don't need to overcompensate in order for someone to love us. Because you don't beg for love. What do we do to move on? Moving on is a process. And one more thing, I just got an idea. Like, have you heard of the empty chair theory? I don't know if that's the phrase, but it's the empty chair theory. When you're in the phase of moving on and you miss him, say it out loud. Hey, I miss you today. I wish you were here. In the early stages. And as time goes by, it will fade. You will run out of things to say to him. But please don't think about him all throughout the day. Okay, you got better things to do. But if you feel like at your weakest moments, specifically after 10 p.m., you will feel it. And specifically, if you don't go out of your room, you will feel it. Like, it will heighten your emotions for him. So I suggest going out, bathing in the sun in the morning. Do not trust the thoughts that occur inside your room, inside your house, especially when it's after 10 p.m. Do you hear me? Do not trust thoughts that occur in your house, in your room, especially when it's after 10 p.m. Let's just say nighttime. Most of the time, those aren't true. Okay? Keep busy achieving your goals. What are your dreams? What are your goals? If you don't have any goal, then this man is right. Not to step on your ego, not to crush your self confidence, but who would want someone who doesn't have a life, right? If you keep busy and you show the world that you have a life, who knows, someone might come along. And that person will just be an additional to your wonderful life. Because with or without someone romantically, you will thrive. If you don't learn that sooner, you will meet guys, of course, but most of the time they're man-child. You will meet a man-child. Best believe. If you don't have standards, men will flock your way. But if you have boundaries plus standards, plus if you have the guts and if you have a backbone, fewer lesser men will come your way. But best believe that they will be quality. This moving on phase is actually the perfect time to build your dream life. Especially if you're in your 20s, girl. This isn't the time to compromise for men. This is the time to build your dreams, to chase opportunities for a better tomorrow. Maybe you're in high school, you're in college. That is the time to look for your bridesmaids, not your groom. I can't remember where I have seen this, but in your 20s, you're not gonna meet the love of your life, the guy. That rarely happens. You're not the exception. You are the rule. I highly recommend you to watch He's Just Not That Into You. It's a good movie. It will open your eyes. After all that, the time will come where you feel like you have gotten over it. You miss the memories. You don't hate the person. It's just clarity at this point. Look back to those times with no emotions attached, just lessons learned, just wisdom and knowledge that you have right now that only time has the ability to teach you. Don't hate yourself for deciding to be with that guy, even if it's just a situationship, because your previous self is also the reason why you're standing today. Because your previous self chose self-respect and self-control. He or she had the guts to stand up after breaking down, crying, or just miserable. Your previous version is the reason why you're thriving today. Give him the most credit. Give her the most credit because she suffered so much for you to get where you are. And admire the strength of your previous self. The people who are the reason you cried so loud to God will never have access to you again. You should make that your mental promise. A promise to yourself. Never give back their access to your life. They no longer deserve it. Remember the times you overcompensated, the breakdowns, all the negative effects after that person. That person's just bad news for you. And it is important that you don't forget that along with the lessons that you've learned. And I hereby declare that this video will help you get through this. I know you can. You are a baddie because you're a hot commodity. You are all that. I am not saying this to flatter your ego, no, because deep inside you already are. You know you are. You just need someone to remind you that you are. If you like this episode, please give this a massive thumbs up, share it to your friends, and of course subscribe because I do a lot of podcast episodes like this. And remember, I am Jasper, and I'll always be in your corner. Toodles!